Back here with you with B's Smokehouse. This is actually the night prior. We're gonna put a whole chicken on my smoker. We're gonna be smoking it with hickory wood. Tonight, what we're doing, we're going to brine it. This is known as dry brining. We're gonna take about a teaspoon to 2 teaspoons, or 2 teaspoons and a half, and we're gonna sprinkle it over the whole chicken. I went ahead and split this. I took a little bit past spatchcock. We're gonna get this salt on it, get it in the refrigerator overnight, and then I'll be back with you tomorrow morning. All right, what we have here is about 2 teaspoons of Morton kosher salt. I use Morton. You can use table salt. However, if you do use table salt, you need to use a little bit less. So what we're gonna do is, I got a glove hand, and I've got my hand that's gonna pretty much stay clean and be dispersing the salt. I use my glove hand to actually flip the chicken over. We're gonna take it. Whenever you're seasoning, you wanna go a little bit higher so you can get even coverage. And we're gonna do this till I feel it's enough. Some people say you can't over season a piece of meat. Chicken is really finicky. What do I mean by that? I mean by whether it's smoke or salt, you can overdo this really easy. All right. Typically, most brines, especially dry brines, are calculated by weight of the protein that you're actually cooking. So we're gonna make sure we get the salt all over this. We're gonna lift some of this up, get it under there. On the skin especially, this especially helps to season your chicken overnight, but it also helps to draw that skin out so we can get some crispy skin on that chicken. So this salt actually helps with osmosis. So I was trying to just get it all the way through. We've got the chicken flipped over on the skin side. I went ahead and snipped the tips of the wings. They're gonna burn. They typically burn on my smoker. I'm gonna be cooking tomorrow about 275 to 300 degrees. Trying to stay closer to the 300 degrees. If we go over a little bit of 300 degrees, 305, 310, that's fine. That'll help me get some crispy chicken skin. And again, on this side, we're gonna do the same thing. We gotta make sure we get under that wing. And you know, you can really tell the difference when you've dry brined any protein, especially chicken, well. You've let it set, let that cool air of the refrigerator dry it out. You'll notice too, you can tell that this dry brine is taken when we get ready to put this on a smoker. This skin will look very different. It will be dried out. And there you have it. Both chicken halves are fully dry brined with Morton kosher salt. We'll be back with you tomorrow afternoon while we get these on the smoker for about 3.5 to 4 hours to try and get that skin crispy and the chicken done. I promise you, this will be the juiciest chicken you've ever had. YouTube, B Smokehouse back with you here. I've got my 2 chicken halves. They've brined overnight. It's been about 12 hours, 13 hours. Just straight kosher salt. I've got a dirty hand and a clean hand. I'm gonna go ahead and season them up now. I won't be using salt to season. We've already done it overnight. All right, so the first thing I'm gonna go on with will be some black pepper. For this application, I'm using a bit of coarse black pepper. I like to see it, and I like a lot of it. All right, that's good for that one. Come on over here to the other. All right, it's good on the black pepper for that side. Now we're gonna go with onion powder. Nice and easy. You don't wanna cake this stuff on. I find that when we're smoking protein, I'll be using hickory wood today. Again, chicken is really easy to over smoke. Also, The reverse of that is if we're using seasoning that is too powdery. I noticed that actually hurts the flavor of the smoke on your protein as well. So most of these are going to be coarse in nature. We're also going to put on there some Italian seasoning. Little light application. We don't rub. Every now and then you might see me pat. That's going to be about the extent of it. Worst case, you'll see me let this protein sit with these seasonings on it to let it adhere. Remember, this protein's already it started drying out. It does have some moisture on the skin. We're going to let that act as our binder. There are many different types of binders you can use. Some of the more commonly used ones would be mustard. I've seen people use water, and any other thing that's going to help your rub tack on, right? That's going to be it for this side. I'll be back with you. YouTube, back with you here, B Smokehouse. Now we're going to season the skin side. As you can see, our salt is penetrated. That's why you see the skin looking as light as it does. You can see the meat through the skin. Some of these areas are fatter than the others. That's what cooking at the appropriate high temperature is going to knock out. We'll render this fat. That way, that salt and brining overnight makes the skin easier to crisp up on the smoker. So again, we're going to do the same thing we did to one side, we're going to do to the other. Again, we're going on with coarse black salt. Get under that wing. Again, I clipped that tip because it's going to do nothing but burn at the heat. We're going to be cooking with some pretty high heat, about 300, 325. Get under that wing. And that's going to be about it for the black pepper. Might hit a little bit more. To me, in my estimation, you can never really put too much black pepper on. I guess you could, but it's just going to be smoking for a few hours. You'll notice that black pepper flavor will be subtle. It won't be too overpowering, simply because the amount of time is going to be on the smoker. Now we're going to hit it with a light coat of onion powder. Again, lift those wings. I just thought today I would do a pretty easy cook. I've got other videos. I'm working on my editing skills. Again, this is new for me. So is editing and using editing software. But when I get it down, I'm going to start pumping out videos at least 2 to 3 times a week. I do currently still have a full-time job. So I'm going to make this work. I love cooking. I want you guys to join me on this journey. Next, we're going to cap this off with some Italian seasoning. It's one of those things. Cooking tends to bring us together more than it keeps us apart. That's one of the main reasons I love cooking. All right. YouTube, we've got our 2 chicken halves cut up. They're brined overnight. We seasoned it right. We started with the black pepper. We went on with some onion powder. We went on with some Italian seasonings. Well, I'm going to put this back into the fridge while I start a fire. I will be back with you, YouTube. Stay tuned. YouTube, this is where we're at. We're holding a steady 275. We want to get that up a little bit higher to 300. I just dropped another split of wood on. As you can see, that's combusted. I got my next one due up. We leave it in the heat box so it's already preheated. When I roll it over on the fire, it takes off. Now currently we got flames coming to the firebox. For chicken, I'm fine with that. The chicken is far back enough to where it won't get burned. So yeah, bit of a windy day, but we're gonna hold tight. This chicken gonna smoke for about 3.5, 4 hours, and then we'll be back. YouTube, B Smokehouse back here with you. We're gonna whip up a quick Alabama white sauce. As you know, I've already got 2 chicken halves on the smoker right now. They're just about done. One of these halves I'm gonna glaze with some Alabama white sauce, and the other I'm just gonna leave as a standard smoked chicken piece, so nothing on it. So the first thing we're gonna do, we are going to get about half a cup of mayonnaise into the bowl. This time I'm using Duke's, one of my favorite. The other household favorite that we use is Kewpie. That is a Japanese mayonnaise. So this right here, that's about a cup and a half. We're gonna add a bit of chipotle powder, a little bit heavy-handed with that. We're gonna add a few dashes of apple cider vinegar. We're gonna go a little bit heavy with the black pepper here. That's about a teaspoon. And then we're gonna hit it with just a dash of salt. Want to be light-handed with the salt because everything else has been salted. Now, what we're gonna do is get the spoon out of the way. We're gonna mix it up. For those of you that don't know, Alabama white sauce is just a traditional mayonnaise-based sauce, and it originates in Alabama. I believe Big Bob Gibson was the originator of this sauce. I use it every now and then in my bag of tricks and goodies, and it never fails, it never misses. Gonna whip that up. I might add a touch more of apple cider vinegar because I need this to be a bit pourable. I'm gonna put this in my in a squirt bottle. YouTube, there you have it. A quick, simple, easy Alabama white sauce. I'll be back with you here in a few minutes. YouTube, we back. I got my finished chicken here. I got 2 chicken halves. They were smoked using Hickory. Took about 4.5 hours. I cannot elaborate to you how juicy these were. Every 30 minutes to an hour, I did baste with butter. That's one way to get crispy skin as well as the overnight dry brine. But actually, if I was to move these around right now, we would have liquid coming out of the bottom of them. That's what you want when you smoke chicken pieces. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get me a little sample. I also have my white sauce that I made, Alabama white sauce. So we're gonna cut a piece off this breast. Oh, this is very much juicy. All right. I want the skin too, I want everything. Everything. Give that Alabama white sauce a shake. We're gonna get us a little on that piece of chicken. Oh yeah. So the chicken is moist. The skin's really crispy. The tanginess of that Alabama white sauce, the apple cider vinegar, the mayonnaise, it's delicious. Guys, there you have it. I'm gonna take this to work. This will be my meal prep for the week. Until next time, B Smokehouse coming back at you.